Hey, good evening. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing this evening? Thanks so much for being here. Hope that everybody is doing well. Gonna jump right into it. Sometimes when you're looking for a home and you're starting out in life and you're a young couple, many is the time you are looking for what is called a starter home and a not your forever home, a place to begin your situation, your marriage, your lifestyle together as a couple, and so on and so forth. It's usually not the biggest, definitely not the fanciest, and hopefully the best price you can get, of course. Always wishing you well in that area. But then later on, you excuse me, outgrow the house and you need something a little bigger. And that's when you start looking for perhaps, although that could always change, you may be looking for what is called a forever home. Your family is growing, you have different needs and so on and so forth, and you start looking for your forever home. Now, let's talk about the forever place. Now, I'm not talking about brick and mortar, not talking about a residence, I'm not talking about a house, but I'm talking about the forevers in life. And sometimes in life, things change. And in that moment, it may not feel like the most optimal, best place for you to be. And I want to offer you some hope that if you're going through whatever the situation is, I don't know your situation, I don't want to guess your situation, and it's not my place to in the first place anyway. But if you're in a situation that seems not right for you, uncomfortable for you, you may be transitionalizing into a more permanent, better situation, even though you don't realize it at the moment. Trying to offer you a little bit of good news here. And always know that while you are going through the whatever transformations you're going through, emotionally, spiritually, or financially, that struggling period of time is not your forever place. It may feel like you might feel like this is my forever place. I'm feeling like gloom and doom. When is this season of negativity ever going to end? It doesn't feel like the right fit. I get it. I know it. We've all gone through it, including yours truly. Everything is not always a slice of cherry pie every day for me. I might sound like it, but we're all human and we go through transitionalizing periods of time. And sometimes it could feel like, oh my gosh, this is your forever place. No, it's not. No, it's not. Tell yourself if you're going through something difficult, challenging, whatever word you rather use, negative, look in the mirror and say, you know what? Even though I'm feeling lousy right now, like emotionally lousy, you might even be feeling physically lousy at the moment. Even though you might be feeling that negative feeling, this is not your forever place. Say, this is not my forever place. All right. Now, but what can we do about this in the meantime? Ask yourself, what is it that's really bothering you? Sometimes people, they're in debt up to their eyeballs. And in a quiet little way, it's always on the back burner. When is that negative letter going to come in or that nasty phone call? Instead of sitting around in dread in anticipation of more negativity, that's the time. If you can fix the situation, I say this, don't just be complacent about it. Do whatever you can to remedy that elephant in the room. And you want to know something? Most oftentimes, that could be like a really huge elephant in the room. So the idea is to get rid of debt. Well, how can I get rid of debt? One payment at a time. That's how you do it. Like some people say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So don't get overwhelmed, but take action. Sometimes it's the idea, sometimes of like figuring things out and making a decision that's actually way, way harder than once the decision is made. So let's just talk about harping on getting rid of some debt for a couple of minutes, okay? Sometimes people feel helpless and they feel like they're almost like a drowning feeling, like it's insurmountable. Take heart, it is not insurmountable. One, call the creditors up, see what you can do to perhaps lower the payment or pick a date that's more adjustable, let's say to closer to your time of when you receive your income. Sometimes a simple act like that could really make a difference. Or utilize balance transfers, for example. Sometimes, you could do that. That's a big help. Just saying, just saying. And there are plenty of videos out there for that. In fact, I'm going to hook up Steve Young's 74 video specifically about that. But also, there comes a period of time where you have to, again, look at the mirror and say, well, what else is the problem? Maybe you don't have enough income coming in. Now, here's what happens when you don't have enough income coming in. You have to make two choices. One is increase your income or seriously cut back on what you have going on. Sometimes you don't realize you're leaking things out through your wallet insidiously without realization. Really and truly sit down and examine your situation. But every step that you take, and I'm going to get more into that in a video where I'm on camera. But let me tell you something. Sometimes when you take these acts, just taking these actionable steps, I mean it, just being aware of what is the problem that's making you feel down can really make a difference. And more often than not, it's financials. More often than not, it's always worried. Like secretly, you might not even realize it, but secretly and subconsciously, you're like, I don't want to go to the mailbox today. Why don't you want to go to the mailbox today? Because you're afraid of negative news in the mailbox, right? Or why don't you want to hear that there's some sort of, big happy event coming that might require an expensive type of gift for a family member, like a wedding or an anniversary or a birthday, and you're dreading the idea. You're not dreading them. You're dreading the idea of, gee, right now I can't afford that gift. Whatever it is, not enough income and always struggling financially is very stressful. People don't realize that. Some people are so used to it, which is really sad. To me, that's really sad. To be so used to being in debt and living with that stress, it's almost like a normal way of thinking all the time. Well, I want to share something with you. It's not a good way of thinking all the time. The better way of thinking all the time is to just pay your bills, have money left over to do what you want to, as well as to save and to live a balanced life. See, living a balanced life is a bigger gift that you could give yourself. Living a balanced life means you don't have to worry about when you go to the mailbox. Living a balanced life financially you don't worry about if somebody's occasion comes up. You give within reason that works within your budget. Living a balanced life means living within your means. And I am going to do a video about living within your means because there are very specific things that sometimes people overlook about that. Such a simple concept, huh? Yeah, a simple concept that many people seem to neglect. And that's why they're in, situations of negativity. And we don't want that. We want the best for everyone and less stress. Less stress means a lot of more fun days, perhaps feeling a little healthier too. I would say a lot healthier too, and get to focus on the things that also matter in life, not just digging your way out of debt all the time. You don't want to just think about that night and day. So take heart that even though you might think that living a life full of debt is your continuous life forever and ever. No, it's not. So just do what you can. Take that elephant out of your room. How? One payment at a time. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for listening. Why I really do appreciate you. I'll be back with a wave. Have an amazing, fantastic night. Take good care. Good night.